What's going on, everybody? Kevin Walsh back here for the New York Sports Machine. Another 2016 NFL Draft update for you guys right now. Talking about Michigan State's Connor Cook, the quarterback, finishing off his senior campaign, was in the college football playoffs, obviously. Handed a pretty big beatdown by the Crimson Tide, who went on to win the national championship. So maybe that can save a bit of face for Connor Cook. But all in all, had a really nice career at Michigan State. Probably the second best all time when you look at his numbers throughout his time at Michigan State. And now people obviously looking towards to where this kid could be drafted. And quarterback is an interesting position this year. There are absolutely no superstars. You do not have the Mariota, Winston, the Luck RG3, the Cam Newtons. That is not here in this draft. It feels similar. Almost, you think back 2 years ago when you had Bortles, Bridgewater, Manziel. Now, the interesting thing was Manziel was a star. Now, he may have not been the best, but he was at least a star. You don't even have star power with any of these guys. The closest quarterback that has any star power is probably Cardell Jones, and he's really fallen off people's boards, not even at all being considered to be a pick within the first 2 rounds when it seemed like he was going to be in the starting job in Ohio State. Obviously, that was taken away from him. So now the quarterback position is really, really interesting here, and Connor Cook has a chance to climb a long way up or fall a long way down. Today, the reports came out of someone speaking to an NFL executive who was quoted saying that Connor Cook has first-round talent but a third-round personality, and saying that they not only believe Cook is selfish but lacks leadership. And to me, the second part of that really stands out. Saying that a player is selfish, that's it's interesting. I mean, he was at Michigan State for quite some time, and I think maybe you could see how a player like Connor Cook could maybe be complacent there and maybe sometimes lose focus and get maybe even a little big-headed. Well, the NFL will certainly pull him back down to earth, but lacking leadership is a big-time concern. Any of these teams that will be drafting quarterbacks in the first round are probably going to need to start these guys day one. Cleveland Browns, Houston Texans, Los Angeles Rams, maybe even the Philadelphia Eagles could be in that mix. Some people feel that the San Francisco 49ers might get in that conversation still. So there's a lot of teams that could be looking at quarterbacks, and if they draft these quarterbacks, it's very likely for them to be their day one starters. So if Cook lacks leadership, that can really, really hurt his draft stock. And I find that interesting, though, because you would expect for a guy who's now been at Michigan State for 4 years, has had really last 3 good seasons, sophomore, junior, and senior campaigns, to have that question. And I wonder if the selfishness things and the leadership kind of relates to one another. Maybe they go hand in hand, and maybe that's what it is. But now Connor Cook really needs to impress at the combine, not only with what he can show with the arm and how many passes he can complete, people questioning his accuracy and things like that. But these interviews now are going to be so crucial for Cook to show that he's not a selfish guy and that he is ready to be a leader. It is a tall task for any young quarterback, but some people really take it in stride. I think Jameis Winston this year absolutely took it in stride. He seemed very comfortable controlling those huddles for Tampa Bay, and I think that they have themselves a franchise guy in Jameis Winston. And now the question is, though, for these people, is do they feel like they can have that in Connor Cook? And what makes it worse is the skill set from Winston to Connor Cook does seem very different. Cook, along with the rest of these guys, there's really no consensus best quarterback. Some people are still high on Jared Goff. Some people like the size and the potential of Paxton Lynch. The name that everyone is hearing right now, Carson Wentz, the North Dakota State man, who a lot of people feel could go number 2 to the Cleveland Browns. And people are even saying maybe the Titans trade back with someone who wants to take Wentz at 1. So you're not, very, very interesting as to what could happen with Carson Wentz. And these are all these question marks surrounding the quarterback position it gives Connor Cook room to jump or fall. It really does. I believe that if Connor Cook goes out there and has one of the best combines and is complete and throws on the money and impresses in these interviews, he could have a genuine chance at being the number one quarterback off the board. The talent does seem to be there. Yes, there are things to fix, but there are teams that are in dire need of quarterbacks. To me, when you take a look at the Cleveland Browns' new head coach, Hugh Jackson, they're going quarterback no matter what here. And it does seem like Carson Wentz is their guy. But if the combine shows some problems with Wentz's game, or if Connor Cook can really impress, maybe he climbs up. Maybe not, though. And maybe the interview process really, really hurts Cook, and he finds himself falling down way past the first round, second round, third round. You never know. We've seen it happen with a lot of guys where they just keep on falling, and they're sitting there, and they just then they just end up watching the draft at home because they don't want the embarrassment of constantly being showed by ESPN for not being picked. So a lot of pressure going to be on Connor Cook coming into the combine. It's going to be starting up Friday. I believe he'll be doing his testing on Saturday. I think that's when the quarterbacks go. But comment down below. Rank these quarterbacks for me. I'm going to be doing it in the upcoming days, but rank these quarterbacks for me. I want to see what you guys have to say. 1 through 5. Who are your 5 best quarterbacks in order? Where does Connor Cook fall in that realm for you? If you're a Browns fan, Eagles fan, if you're a fan of a team that needs a quarterback, would you want Connor Cook? Leave those comments down below. We'll respond to everyone who answers. We'll see what you guys say. Always love the feedback. Want to see what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.